guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison video on the new Physicians Formula Butter Believe It Putty Primer versus the e.l.f. Original Putty Primer that is so iconic for the drugstore makeup industry. So I'm really excited to put these to the test against each other and see if there's differences, what similarities there are, and whether you should spend a little bit more money on this or just keep this and use it. Quickly do want to introduce myself for those of you guys who are new to my channel. Hi, welcome. My name is Jessica, aka the Mexican Beauty. I make videos on all things beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. So I would love for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. While you're at it, hit that notification bell because that'll make sure you're notified every single time that I upload a new video. And also, please don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, the Mexican Beauty, because whenever I'm not here, I'm there 24/7 giving you guys all the hot tea on all the latest and greatest makeup, beauty, fashion, all that good stuff. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to be applying the Physicians Formula New Butter Primer on this side and the e.l.f. one on this side. So let's just go ahead and start off with this new guy because this is what you guys are probably super intrigued about, especially because I feel like a lot of you probably already know about the Putty Primer. So this Physicians Formula Primer just came out. You guys can see right away how it compares packaging wise. So this does retail for $12. I think it also depends on where you purchase it. Certain drugstores, it's cheaper. If you purchase it at Ulta or Target, it tends to be the most expensive. So I would say try to look for this at like Rite Aid, Walmart, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and talk about all the hot tea on this product. So on the website, this is $11.99. It's supposed to be an ultra luxurious velvet smooth putty primer. It's infused with their butter complex to deliver a radiant, soft, poreless complexion. It's extremely creamy, buttery texture to prep the skin and allow makeup to glide on smoothly for all day long wear. It's packed with essential fatty acids and provitamins that soften, condition, and moisturize the skin, leaving it silky soft. So they're both supposed to give you long wear makeup application and also that poreless finish. So this one is the putty and this one is the new Physicians Formula. You guys can see they look very, very similar in color, consistencies, very similar, except the Physicians Formula is more expensive than the e.l.f. one. Which I'm honestly not surprised because I feel like Physicians Formula has always been a pretty expensive brand for drugstore. So that's just something to note. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. Right away, this one feels a little bit more buttery than the e.l.f. one, which can be a really good thing for all the people that felt like the e.l.f. one was a little too thick, would kind of separate on their skin, because I know some people did have those issues. They also have those issues with the Tatcha one, but I feel like this one is a little bit more so of like a buttery, moisturizing consistency, if you guys can see that. So I really like to target it in the areas where I have like my most pores. So that's kind of like right around the nose. And you guys can see just applying it, how it looks way more moisturizing than the e.l.f. one. It also does have that like scent that all of their butter products have. It literally is kind of like you're putting a little bit of butter on your face. And I know for people that have oily skin, you're probably like, what in the world? What do you mean? Putting butter on my face? But like, it's just very smooth, melts into your skin as you apply it. I would say though, if you are applying this, I would probably give this a few minutes to set before you go into foundation if you don't want it to look super radiant. Now, in case you guys are wondering, because you guys may also ask, how would you say it compares to the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer? Because there's now three. This one's the original one, the Poreless, and then they have the matte one, and then they have the e.l.f. Luminous one. So the e.l.f. Luminous one didn't feel any different than the other e.l.f. ones when it came to consistency. It honestly felt exactly the same. The only thing that was different is that it had like some shimmer in there. This one doesn't have shimmer, but you guys can see that it definitely does give you radiance from within. You have a little bit of a healthy glow. So that's the Physicians Formula Putty Primer. Definitely feel that buttery, creamy consistency that I do not feel from the e.l.f. So now we're gonna talk about the e.l.f. Putty Primer. So this one does retail for $8, so definitely cheaper than the one from Physicians Formula. This is great for perfecting the skin. It's infused with squalene to help grip makeup all day, which is something that the Physicians formula doesn't say. It also helps protect the skin from moisture loss. The velvety texture glides effortlessly over the skin, smoothing over imperfections while helping minimize the appearance of pores. Okay, so the e.l.f. Putty Primer has 0.74 ounces, so a little tiny bit more than the Physicians Formula one, which has 0.71 ounces. You guys can see immediately the consistency of the e.l.f. is a little bit more so of a thicker consistency. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it. I do have to say, I still think that the e.l.f. Putty Primer is definitely more so of a thicker consistency. And I think for somebody that does have dry skin and you've tried the e.l.f. Putty Primers and you're just like, they literally separate on me, not the move, then you may like the Physicians Formula one. Okay, so another big difference that I noticed right away is that I feel like with the e.l.f. Putty Primer, you get a little bit of a white cast over your skin. Okay, so we're super up close and personal. So this is the primer from Physicians Formula and definitely looks very nice and hydrated. Doesn't have a white cast, just looks very clean and ready for makeup. It doesn't really feel tacky whatsoever. It gives the finish of, it gives the skin a very soft finish, like a velvety finish. Let's look at this one. This one is a little bit tacky, but it's very, very little. It's nothing intense. So like, you know how most gripping primers, when you touch them, they feel super sticky, like it'll grip onto anything. This one doesn't feel necessarily that way, which can be good and bad. Because then you're like, how much does this really grip my makeup? But you can feel some tackiness. So I definitely do feel like this side with the e.l.f. Putty Primer definitely blurred out those enlarged pores that I tend to have right here. This actually also looks like it did a good job of minimizing my pores. Let me know down below if you guys are noticing any huge differences. I feel like the biggest difference for me, like I mentioned, is definitely that this side does have a little bit of a tint to it. This side is just like translucent. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. So now we can go ahead and apply our foundation. I think for today, for foundation, I want to go with something super lightweight. So I'm gonna be using the Rare Beauty foundation that we have right here. And we are just gonna start off and apply all over. I do wanna go ahead and show kind of me applying it just so that you guys can see it up close. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out with my e.l.f. primer. With my e.l.f. brush. This is the Ultimate Coverage brush. You guys can see how there's like a healthy little radiance there from the primer. Here, both primers, e.l.f. Physicians Formula, you guys can see. I'm not seeing the biggest difference, honestly. Ooh, right here we missed a spot. There we go. I feel like they honestly both look exactly the same once the foundation's on. I feel like the biggest difference that I noticed was when I wasn't wearing foundation, but now that I am, it's like, looks the same, don't see a difference. I would say maybe a little tiny bit more perfected on the e.l.f. side when it comes to the poreless like effect of it. But I don't think this looks bad at all. I don't think it looks bad. I just would say that if this is doing what the Physicians Formula claims to do, I would probably say go for the cheaper alternative. But I do want to do a wear test so that you guys can see how it does for the longevity. Are they the same? Would one perform longer than the other? So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup, then I'm gonna come back for a quick little check-in, see if anything changed within those 30 to 40 minutes of me finishing up my makeup, and then we can go ahead and start our day. Right now it is early, it is 9:10 a.m. So we have a long day to go. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I am back. I just finished my entire face of makeup. Right now it is 9:50 a.m. Let's talk about this snatch. So this side is the side where we are wearing the Physicians Formula, and this is the side where we are wearing the e.l.f. I personally have to say that maybe it's just me, and I will show you guys this makeup like super up close, but I don't know why. I just feel like everything on this side with the e.l.f. kind of looks more skin-like. more perfected. Like the skin looks super fresh around the areas where I do have those enlarged pores. I feel like on this side, it did get a little bit cakey right in this little area after I applied my foundation, which you guys saw, the Rare Beauty one, and then I went in with the Jouer concealer, and I just felt like it didn't do well, but on this side, it blended in perfectly. Let me know down below which side you think looks better, more skin-like. I don't know why, but I just feel like this side looks really good and perfected. This side just looks kind of like there's makeup on top. So those are just my first impressions. I do feel like the e.l.f. one to me is speaking more. Keep watching because you won't want to miss this. Hey guys, so I am back right now. It is about to be 6 p.m., 5:40, and I wanted to do my final thoughts on the comparison between the drugstore putty primers. So here we have the e.l.f. one, the iconic e.l.f. one that just really made a name for itself. And here we have the Physicians Formula one. So what are you guys thinking? Physicians Formula, e.l.f. putty. Here are my thoughts, and these are like, I feel like they're just clear as day. If you're somebody that does have oily skin, I would say that you need to stay away from the Physicians Formula one because clearly you guys can see the amount of dew I have on this side is a lot. And if you like that, if you have oily skin, good for you, get it. If you don't even think about it. I would say that if you do have oily skin, just keep using what you're already using. You're not missing on anything out. I know sometimes you have like that fear of missing out because you see a new product, you're like, oh my God, do I need that? You don't need it, you're good. But I do have to say, if you do have dry skin and you do not like these putty primers by e.l.f. because you find yourself having it just ball up on your face or separate your makeup or just, you know, look weird on your natural skin, then don't try this. Definitely try the Physicians Formula one because it does have that nice buttery, creamy consistency almost. Honestly, it really goes on the face as butter in a way. So if you have very dry skin, then you definitely do need this type of hydration from a primer that is a putty primer, because with putty primers being solids, it tends to be harder for you to find a good putty primer that will work with your dry skin. I understand, because now that I have more so combination skin, certain areas with the dry patches, it's hard to handle. And I know that you may be looking at my face right now, you're thinking, how do you have some type of dry patches? But I have been getting them recently, and when I'm trying to put on the products, lay down the product, it just is not working. It's separating. So I can only imagine dry skin people that have it all around, how difficult that can be. So I would say definitely check out the Physicians Formula Putty Primer. If you are looking for an alternative version to the e.l.f. one, it didn't work out for you, it was too drying, it made your skin look like shiz, or if you tried the Tatcha one, too expensive, or you've been wanting to try but you have dry skin, this one will be the go-to for you. Yes, it is a few dollars more expensive than the e.l.f. one, but I definitely do think that for somebody who has dry skin, they'll want to invest in that because they know what a struggle it is to find products that work with dry skin. So those are pretty much all my thoughts. I hope that this video was super helpful for you guys in case you guys were wondering which one's better or if they need to go out and buy it. Yes for some people, no for some others. So if you did enjoy watching this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know to continue doing these types of videos for you guys. I love filming my reviews, so let me know what you want to see next down below in the comment section. And I think that's all I have for you guys. So don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.